first thing first, I don't have ASL because I just finished the class, so it's been a lot of review. Um, so I finished my classes. So I'm gonna be starting new ones that my mom made based on my interest. Because the way my brain is, like, if I'm not interested in it, like, it's really hard to pay attention sometimes. Like, when I was a kid, my mom had taught me how to count using trains. Because I love trains. So I have 5 classes here I want to talk about because I'm really excited for that. But first things first, karate, because it won't take long. Strike week is next week. Promotion is the week after. So I'd be a medium brown belt if I pass. The trunk or treat is in like 2 days. And I'm going to, well, the plan is, at least my mom's gonna call her, there's a plan for my mom and I to go to lunch with, my great aunt? I don't remember. I mentioned her for Auntie. I love Auntie. I was gonna call her tonight just to make sure that's still happening. I went to Nan's house recently to celebrate her birthday. So, that was interesting. Next week is costume week for karate, so I get to wear, I'm not gonna wear my Halloween costume, I'm gonna wear my one from last year, because I don't think I could, like, go to class in my costume for this year. Because, it's a long dress, and I don't want to get that costume sweaty, because, like, running around in class, but, it reaches the floor, and I don't want to accidentally trip on my dress, so, I'm just gonna wear my Chucky costume from last year, because that's a dress, but it's, like, knee length, so I can just wear shorts under it like I did last year, because that is still in my closet. Honestly, even if I didn't have that, I have the cape, which isn't a full costume, but I can make that into, like, a simple costume. It's finally cooling down. I know I was saying, like, I think it was till, like, beginning of October, I don't remember now, that it's, like, it's still warm out, and it's finally cooling down consistently, because it's like, oh, it's, like, 60 degrees, and now it's, like, 80. It is consistently cooling down, which is really nice. It's finally hoodie weather. I love hoodies. I have a small collection in my closet. Anyway, new classes. Because I was gonna say, I'm gonna somewhat talk about the lessons, because apparently, with just a little bit of creativity, you can cover a lot of topics. But since it's based on my interest, I am gonna end up infodumping quite a bit. So, just the order that these are stacked in right now. The first one is Jujutsu Kaisen. It's an anime and manga. I haven't actually read the manga. So basically, there's this thing called cursed energy, which comes from negative emotions. And those, like, the cursed energy creates things called curses. which most people can't see. So then people who can see them learn to use cursed energy to get rid of cursed spirits, Jujutsu sorcerers. So there's one for Jujutsu Kaisen. There's one for Plushy Dreadfuls, which are, I actually have one right next to me. This is Jameson. Because they have plushies that are, well, they have some that it's just like, oh, that's cute, but a lot of them have different issues, whether or not it's a physical disability or it's a mental health issue. They have LGBTQ plus ones. So it's a comfort thing for people. Like Jameson that I just showed is masking, which I've showed a lot with, and I've been really attached to him. I know I've shown Floppy before, who is an autism one. So I'm going to be doing one on Plushy Dreadfuls. So it has some of the subjects listed, and the one thing is psychology. So, so week 1 objective is how objects represent feelings and identities. Effect how comfort items help emotional regulation. So, I'm excited for all of these, honestly. This one is for karate, specifically American Kempo, which is what I'm taking for medium brown belt, because if I pass my belt test, I will be medium brown belt. Then this one, I know I've talked about it before, but this one is for My Hero Academia. I don't know if I've said it here. I know I've said it, like, in general. If quirks were real, I would be like Midoriya, because they're so interesting. Like, I remember the one day I had just did like info dumping about quirks, because just they're so cool. So the mission for the whole lesson, it says to unlock strength, discipline, and courage to rise the hero of your own story in both the classroom and in life. And then the last one is based on Five Nights at Freddy's. Subjects: ELA, art, history, science, math, psychology, game design, technology. Like, I remember the one activity in here is circuits, which I know a little bit. It's been a few years, but there was an after-school program that I did in middle school. And the one thing they had sometimes, because they had different activities, and the one was in the cafeteria where they had board games, so you just kind of hang out. A few times they had a thing of snap circuits. Absolutely love those. I do remember there was a fan on it. So if you stop the circuit, then the fan would actually go flying. That is one of the few things I remember with the snap circuits, but anyway. So, know a bit as far as the technology. I'm excited for the psychology, honestly, because, I don't know a lot about it, but, it's interesting. I remember the Five Nights at Freddy's, and I believe the Jujutsu Kaisen one talks about it as well, is the science of fear. Day 5 of week 1, the fear response. Psychology, learn about the fight, flight, or freeze. reflection, identify which response you tend to have and how it helps or hinders survival. Week 2 is the power of fear. ELA, read a spooky paragraph and then play a short audio clip. No jump scares. Discuss which built more tension and why. Science, study circuits and energy flow. The 8, mood and color. Art. Make a monochrome or limited color artwork that invokes fear without gore. Psychology, discuss how color influences emotion. I actually know a bit about that now that I'm thinking about it. Because I think it was blue is considered like a calming color. I don't remember off the top of my head a lot of them. But I have heard some of those. Okay, that's the game design. Day 10, fear in the brain. Psychology, explore how fear releases adrenaline. So, get to learn science behind fear response. I don't remember a lot what was in the My Hero Academia one. The karate one. The first thing I remember is researching Ed Parker. Lesson activities, reading, research. Research Ed Parker, create a short bio card summarizing who he was, what he believed, and how he changed martial arts. Don't remember a lot was in this one. I do remember there's a question at the end, because a lot of these have like journal prompts, reflections. Daily or weekly journal ideas. The last one is, what am I doing now that my white belt self would be proud of? So that will be interesting, especially since I started karate in a really bad place mentally. It's helped a lot, honestly. I think I have talked about it before. Like, I'm really glad I had started karate, because it's done a lot of good for me. And I have friends, like, I had a handful at school, but, like, I have friends, I have karate family. I remember another one in there was, like, with challenges, what gives up first, your body or your mind? I don't remember where it was. I want to find it now. I believe it was in this one. Was it this one? Was it this one or was it a different one? No, this is a different one. I remember one of the questions in one of the packets, I've only skimmed all of these, was like, with if something challenging happens, does your body give up first or your mind? And I could have sworn it was that one. The Plushy Dreadfuls I already kinda, I don't remember. Was it this one? Oh! It was the Jujutsu Kaisen one. day 5 in the last week, if I remember correctly. Perform a simple endurance routine. So there's 3 activities. Perform a simple endurance routine, stretching, jumping jacks, course ability. 2, right, reflection. What parts of me give it first, body or mind? 3, group or self-discussion. Difference between pain and progress. I could have sworn it was the karate one. I thought that because I compared it to the karate with the belt testing. It's my mind. Because I keep going in class, but it's like when I start, I am working on it. But when I start struggling, it's like it feels like I'm failing. So even though I'm still, with the example belt testing, like even though I'm still going through the testing, it feels like I already failed, which honestly just sucks. Oh, something I think is really cool though. So there's for each of the classes there's characters listed as instructors, and some of them have to do with their curse techniques. Like the math teacher is Naname. His curse technique forcibly creates a weak point on a target with a 7-3 ratio. So it makes sense for him to be the math teacher. I'm just happy about that. I could talk forever about quirks. I could talk forever about curse techniques. Not all of them are like that. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if she's like nurse, doctor, but she works in medical field. Is the science teacher. And it's specifically biology. But anyway. So I could talk more about those once I actually start doing the lessons. There's also one, it's not actually printed out, that are going to do on masking specifically. That one I'm going to have to do with my mom because I want to do it, but when I started just reading the thing, I had started crying. I honestly don't know why. I think it's just because I got to the part where it's like effects of masking, and a lot of the stuff was things that I struggle with. Like the one thing is issues with memory, which I have a lot of issues with my memory to the point where like I try not to think about it too much, because if I think about it too much, then I'm gonna start worrying about it, and I'd rather not worry about my memory constantly. But it's something that my mom has mentioned that she is worried about. Because 90% of the time, like, I'm told something, the information's gone. Like, it's pretty rare that information sticks in my brain, unless it's something that I'm interested in. Then it sticks. For a while, honestly. But I have been talking a lot about it. It's been almost 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't really have anything since I haven't started the classes. Excuse me, I haven't started the classes yet. I just finished my other ones today. I'm gonna try to continue doing the ASL because I finished what there was for like the schooling, but there was an app my mom is using, and she was gonna have me use that. So hopefully I get new stuff. The main issue I have is I know the signs, but I'm on the grammar. Because the way you'd say it in English is different than the way you'd sign it. Like, one example I remember from my lessons was a sentence. So in English, it would be, I want a cat. But what you would sign, so you'd sign cat first, and then sign I want. So the order of the sentence is different. This kind of reminds me how in Spanish, how adjectives are after, if I remember correctly. I've been writing with my sister recently. It has been 3 weeks. We haven't made really any progress, but writing. Just for fun, because we both are interested in My Hero Academia, so we've been writing like headcanons and stuff for that. That is it. I says, sorry, as far as the ASL, this wasn't really much. I was just excited about my classes. I don't know which one I'm actually gonna start with, but I will try to like, hey, this is like what I did, and like, so that's what's up. Stay safe. Have a good day.